Nation, stand up. Raider Nation, please stand up. Cover 3D Raider podcast here with Dwayne, Douglas, and Sean Oahu Raider. Monster Mass Ken is down in GA. I think Georgia is I think GA is the abbreviation for Georgia. I just want to have I guess we to be the kind of a sad day for Raider Nation and football fans all over. We could just have a moment of silence for John Madden, who passed away today at 85. Crazy. So this has been it's never some guys who cover the Raiders, I think it's kind of interesting how they kind of bitch and moan about covering the Raiders, but at least you have something to write about all the time. I mean, whether it's Ruggs, whether it's Gruden, whether it's all these things going on with the team, whether it's Carr, who is that kind of figure with the Raiders, who are very controversial as far as his play on the field, and everybody goes back and forth. But with John Madden passing away, it was just pretty. It's really sad in a lot of ways, but at least he led a tremendous life. 85 years old, kind of the voice of the NFL for a long period of time. Just a guy who I think I tweeted out today. I did tell out today that when you have a life, when you live the life where people of all generations love and respect you, then that's all you can do. That's all you can do in your life. And I was thinking about when I thought about John Madden, it's kind of weird that I thought about the singer Sade, because we were playing Sade at work one day, and somebody said, "You know what? Do you know anybody who doesn't like Sade?" And I was like, "No." And they were like, "Well, I don't want to meet them if they don't like Sade, because our music is so good." I was thinking about with John Madden, I don't know anybody who was like, "Oh my God, he just gets on my nerves." I never heard anybody. You heard it with Joe Buck, you heard it with Collinsworth, you heard it with Aikman, you heard it with Romo now, with the play prediction, stuff like that. He gets on some people's nerves. Jim Nantz can get on people's nerves, but you've never heard that with Summerall and Madden. They were just really always that good, and it was a big game. You knew it was a big game, and we know him more as a broadcasting and the video games and stuff like that, more so the player. I mean, I wish we did know John Madden, the coach, because John Madden was 44-11 against the AFC West. I can't even imagine the Raiders being 44-11 in a long period of time versus those teams, which is and they had good players on those teams. It wasn't like those teams sucked, thoughts about Madden here. We're gonna break up the Cover 3D podcast today. Talk a little bit about Madden, and then we'll go into the Broncos, and then go into the Colts here. But first half is just kind of John Madden's life and legacy with the Raiders and with all of football as well.
Yeah, no, I mean, just completely iconic to the game of football. Picking up the sticks, playing video games back in the early 90s. I mean, Madden was all you knew. He was the voice of the NFL, much as Al Davis was the voice of the Raiders. But Madden had, like you hit on it, he is so widely accepted and adored and admired for his character, and kind of, he was so marketable because he was so likable. He's like John Candy in a football. He just was. It's difficult, a long, incredible life. Not going to name the quote off the top of my head, but he basically said, I played in the NFL, I became a coach, and then I became a commentator. I haven't worked a day in my life. So What a full life of joy, being around the game he loves and bringing smiles to people's faces. The turducken we were talking about on Thanksgiving, just all these hilarious little mannerisms and, key words and phrases he used covering sports. So interesting. I just remember it's so funny because he was such a product of the old school. There was a game he was covering when I was younger, and I think it was the Packers. It was like Lambeau Field. It was a cold game, and he was talking about all the gear his players would wear. We'd tape our fingers, we'd put illegal pads on our forearms, my guys would do this, and then he said nowadays they got these things called gloves. And I thought that was so mad. And he's like talking like gloves is like next level, right? Technology in the game, right? So but just a loved character, and RIP, full life, and what a legacy he's left. And just it's terrible. It's another one of those big Raider legends. from the past. And I mean, what came to my mind was when Al Davis passed, the
Yeah.
Raiders beat the Texans in Houston,
Yeah.
and they only had 10 players on the field for the game-winning snap, and they came up with a miraculous win. It was emotional. So as we transition out of Madden later, hey, I'm hoping there's some special juice in this locker room and organization to take care of business against the Colts, which is a real tough opponent. But I think a lot of these guys don't know Madden personally, but guaranteed their
Oh, they
household,
know
they
him.
grew up.
They know
They
him. They
know
know him.
they played his games.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the type of icon it is. So I'm excited. His special just got released Christmas Day. So peaceful passing sounds like for the most part, and another Raiders giant down, and now it's time to create more, and hopefully there's a different legacy going forward.
Yeah. 103 and 32.
So that's like close to 8. I mean, that's crazy.
I mean, that he won 100. So he won 100. He coached in 142 games and won 103 of them.
Yeah.
I mean,
and you have to think of the era he played
come
in
on,
too.
dude.
So.
Come on, man. Come on. And then, I think playing the game for a long period of time too. I mean, we all picked up the sticks and played Madden for a long period of time. Think about like some of my best friends are through playing Madden. Like, I mean, like for real. I mean, like my friend Ray Petrocelli, who I went to college with, Will Diaz, who was a huge Bronco fan. Ray's a Raider fan. Ray's a Rams fan, but like we played Raiders, Rams, Broncos, Raiders forever on that system.
Yeah.
On that system forever. I mean, college was getting something to drink, which wasn't water. Looking at chasing after girls, playing Madden, and then do schoolwork. And it was in that order. And Madden was a huge part of passing the time in college dorm rooms. It's not even a question about it. Like, it's just it was a big part of your life. And when the new one came out, we always, we ran to whoever's room who had it first. And we're all playing. We played tournaments, we played franchise seasons, we did all those things there. And it was just really kind of cool to do that. I think one of the Madden things that I used to love to hear about when he was on doing broadcasting was and it drives us crazy now, but he used to say, it's 3rd and 6. So throwing a pass that's 3rd and 4, to me, I know these new coordinators are out here, but I never understood that. Like throw the ball past to say, how many times do you watch football, whether it's Raider or not Raider, and you see somebody throw the ball not past the sticks for a first down? He was, he's like, why? What are you even doing throwing that pass? That's not past the line of the game. Actually makes no sense at all as far as that goes. But I mean, the career accomplishments have been just well documented. And I think for him too, is like, I'm not sure where Allen Hancock College is. I'm not sure where that is, but he did go to Cal Poly, and he was just a West Coast guy. I mean, he was one of the pioneers of West Coast football too. I mean, Cal Poly, and then was a defensive coordinator at San Diego State, out here where I live. And then at the age of 33, after being with the Raiders linebackers coach for a couple of years, he became the head coach. And that's just, I mean, it just in the history is, and you can't be better in year one than 12-1-1. I mean, the guy was just straight up 12-1-1. I mean, that's what do you want to say? I mean, 757, almost a 760 winning percentage. Like that's just nuts. I mean, that's just, I don't care what league you're playing in, National Football League, grown men are playing. And and I think the thing what the Raiders did too was John with Madden and with Al Davis is that's when we're seeing it now, and people are going crazy about what Deion Sanders is doing with the HBCUs. But
Oh yeah.
that's what that's the influence of Al Davis and John Madden. You know,
Yeah.
they brought in players from the HBCUs,
Mhm.
and then all of a sudden the big colleges, the Alabamas, the USCs. You know, everybody remembers that you memorable USC game where they went to Alabama and just whipped up on Alabama with a lot of players from that area. And then all of a sudden Alabama was like, oh, you know what? We better start recruiting some of these guys in down south. and getting some of those. And then that's what Al Davis was able to do. You know, I mean, some of the all-time great for Raiders are from HBCUs, and that just ended that was part of a thing that, Raiders had one of the first black quarterbacks in the league too, as
Art
well,
Shell,
too. Art
coach.
Shell,
Yep.
coach, as well. So I mean, listen, he had a great life, man. Like, he was fun and funny without even trying. Like,
Yeah.
it wasn't like a shtick. Like Dennis Miller when he was on Monday Night Football, that was pure shtick, and it wasn't gonna
Yeah.
last.
Oh God.
Real football fans are not gonna like that. But hopefully, I know EA Sports had a thing that said today we lost a hero. John Madden was synonymous with the sport of football for more than 50 years. His knowledge of the game was second only to his love for it and his appreciation for everything that every step that ever stepped on the gridiron. A humble champion, a willing teacher, and forever coach. Our hearts sympathies go out to John Madden, John's family, friends, and millions of fans. He will be greatly missed and always remembered and never forgotten. So I think that is the EA Sports. Obviously, they know. I mean, it wasn't like it wasn't like some of these other games where they just give him oh, I will give you a check and we'll just slap your name on it. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
like that wasn't John.
Yeah.
That was not John. That was not John. If you know the history of that game, how it started, John really was an integral part of that game and making sure
Yep.
it was as football authentic as humanly possible. So that was fun to kind of see there. And then NFL, obviously everybody is. I mean, I'm sure you'll see a big outcry on Sundays, on this Sunday and Monday Night Football about
Mm.
John Madden because he was that
Oh yeah.
big of a part. And I think he also knew when to walk away
Yep.
and go do something else. So I'm not sure if you have any of the parting words for John Madden, but I think it's kind of cool to kind of see everybody, no matter whether you're silver and black or not, coming together to celebrate the life of John Madden.
Absolutely. No, yeah. No, nothing else to say, but like at least my Twitter feed, I got friends all around the league, and just seeing how
Yeah.
quickly people show their how much they cherish that football presence, that mind, and just who he was. It's one of those things that just there's no rivalry, there's no tidbit, there's no hate. It's just it's
Yeah.
you're beloved, and that's rare to do in today's world. Everyone wants to be negative and
Oh yeah.
cancel and think, but Madden's just, I mean, he's
Yeah.
just a terribly likable person,
Yeah.
a very unique person. He wouldn't get on
Yeah.
airplanes. He just had his
Yes.
own,
Like my
right? He
father,
just,
like my
yeah.
father will never get on an
Oh
airplane.
wow.
And
See.
until this day, I asked him, how'd you get here from Jamaica? I was like, he said, I don't know. I don't know. So, I don't know. All right, folks, man, we're gonna take a quick break. We'll be right back, and we're gonna talk about the Raiders win over the Broncos, and then we're gonna go talk about their battle with the Colts coming up here on the Cover 3D Raider podcast.